The new season of World of Tanks is here in World of Tanks console, or at least will be here on Tuesday, and we're going to be having a look at the update information that you guys need to know before this season drops. What is the season? What are the premium vehicles that you can pick up as part of the Battle Pass? And of course, yeah, I'll be interested to see what you guys think if you've already seen the news so far. But let's jump into it. Of course, we'll start with this week and then getting into the new information as well, since we need to know exactly what's going on. And of course, some of the events lead over into the next season too. But this week we had the Easter is this Sunday, so they were essentially giving XP bonuses. So if you jump on the game, I think you get 200% XP bonus when you play in every single one of your tank for the first game and you win. Of course, so it's a ×3 XP on the daily win of the day. So hopefully this weekend, if you're jumping on to World of Tanks, you'll be able to grind through some of those tech trees a little bit faster, which is always good. I always like these sorts of events, and they do typically come every single time we get some of these more kind of holiday break periods, so that's nice. And then of course spring is still trying to spring its way to life, and we've got a few more sales that will help it along. So this is Wargaming plugging their sales, and to be honest with you, all of these tanks that are part of the sales, for me personally, not a particularly big fan. The only one that I kind of like is actually the Cold War, and that's coming from me, which is the NM116 and the M50 Ontos. I think they're cool vehicles. Do I necessarily recommend you go out and spend £40 on them? No, but you know, if you are going to spend some money, these aren't bad as a bundle. But there is some booster packs, so you can pick up ×2 silvers, ×5 vehicle XP boosters, and ×8 commander XP boosters. So these are like the top of the kind of boosters that you can purchase. These are the best bonuses that you can purchase, and of course the ×5 vehicle XP boosters are something that I've used throughout my time on World of Tanks since I've become able to do so, and since they've been released, since it just saves me 5 times the amount of time as it would to grind through some of the tech tree lines. And for me personally, it is worth the investment of how much it's going to cost, but of course you've got to weigh that up yourself and work out what's important to you. But either way, that is the information for this week, and of course the tank of the month for April is the AMX Chaffee, and I actually kind of like this tank. It's a French tier 7 light tank that recently got buffed. There was it was definitely not very good previously because it had no hit points. It had a tier 6 hit points, it had a tier 6 gun, and was pretty lackluster. But yeah, since it got moved to tier 7, and then we had to wait like ages before it finally got buffed to a reasonable amount. And it is definitely competitive in today's meta, but the most important information for you guys, as I'm sure you're eagerly awaiting what it is going to be, it is of course the release of the new season. And what is this new season? Well, it is the Gladiator season, so I'm interested to see what Wargaming are going to be trying to throw at us this year, but I'm assuming it's because it's the Italian tanks in terms of the Colosseum and of course Gladiators and the Rome, etc. You guys know exactly what I'm on about, so I'm assuming that the Italian tank destroyers are going to be coming, including some of the other vehicles that we also have, and by that there is of course a Italian tank as part of this season. And what was that? Well, it's the Centauro CC45T, which I believe is the Contro Caro 45T, which is the tank that they have on PC. So the Caro 45T, which is the tier 10 premium / reward vehicle that you can pick up in the game, and you can actually see it on screen right here. This is what the vehicle is. Looks exactly the same as the Caro 45T on PC. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be the same sort of vehicle, and hopefully you guys are interested to actually pick this one up. But in order to get it, you do have to pay the 2,000 season pass points, or 2,000 gold, to purchase the season pass and probably get to rank 100. They haven't released the actual tiers that you'll be able to actually go through to pick it up, but you'll also be able to pick up the M48A2 pattern, the tier 8 American medium. It's already in the game. It's nothing too special. I actually don't really like the tank, but it's there. There's also a Tiago Silva 3D Commander. Now, I don't necessarily know who that is, but they're coming into the game. I'm sure that there's a picture, so you guys could have a look. But Yeah, that's coming into the game. I don't think it's the footballer, by the way, for those of you wondering. And then also the Panzer IV-H, which is the derp cannon. I think this tank is actually very, very good. But essentially, I think that this tank actually had an electric engine or something like that. That's why it was slightly different to some of the other Panzers back in the day. But of course, we also have the free stuff. So what do you get as the free tank? Well, it is the Bellerophon, the Mark 5/1 RAAC, which is a tier 8 British medium tank that has a ton of spaced armour all over it. And is actually quite fun. It's also a monster hunter tank, so you are able to spear people with its gun. So essentially it launches spears during the Halloween event mode that you guys will be able to use, and it sends people flying. But other than that, you also get the Ares 2D Commander as well. So that's part of the free pass. And then what is the ultimate season pass this time? The 6,000 gold season pass? Well, it is the AMX 30B Forad. So this is an Era 2 Western Alliance medium tank. This is exactly what it looks like. So imagine a 30B, so an AMX 30B, obviously, that's been buffed and has a lot more of extra equipment on it. May even look like it has maybe some small missiles or something, potentially. I doubt it, but maybe this is a laser sight for some of you guys watching. Maybe you guys know what this is. Maybe it's just a weight for the gun so that it's balanced. I'm not entirely sure, but potentially, yeah, that could be a laser tank. No idea, but of course, you guys might be able to help with that, and I'll be interested to see what you guys think, and whether you're happy with getting a Cold War vehicle for the 6k season pass, and whether or not you're actually going to go out and purchase it, since I have no idea if the French tanks in Cold War are particularly great, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see. And then of course the new Liana 3D Commander, you know, it is, of course, yeah, I mean, Wonder Woman B-Tech version. We can see what Wargaming were trying to plug here. You guys know, yeah, I don't know. I don't know why we're getting things like this, but apparently they're trying to suck you in, if you know what I mean, to get you to purchase things like that. Yeah, I don't think I'll be bothering using that, but either way, you guys might be interested in picking up that. But there are some other features, so there will be a new map as well. Finally, we'll be getting Serene Coast back in the game. And for those of you that don't know what this map is, let me jump over to the actual map highlight so you guys can actually see what it looks like from the minimap. So this is the Serene Coast map. It is on World of Tanks PC, so for those of you that don't know, it's essentially a map that is featured on a coastline. There's a surprise, Serene Coast. But essentially what you have is one spawn. You've got a hill area over here, which pretty much any hold down heavies will go to, along with mediums that have good turret armor. You'll get tank destroyers that camp on this corner, as well as tank destroyers that camp over here and try and get shots on people pushing this hill area. And then of course you'll get a heavy area over here. It's not particularly the best map for a medium and a light tank, but light tanks may go into the central area to spot for their team, as well as light tanks going into the town area in the middle as well to spot for their team, and mediums also going in here, but it's kind of a risky strategy to go here, as well as tank destroyers camping here and on the opposite side here. So yeah, I mean, it's a pretty stale map. There's not a lot that goes on Serene Coast, but yeah, I'd still really enjoy the map, and I don't think it's the worst thing in the world, but it would have been nicer to see some of the others. So that is Serene Coast. Hopefully it's a little bit of a decent overview of the map, and of course it'd be much easier when we're actually in the game to showcase exactly how you can play it when I've got some gameplay for you guys. And then Wargaming have actually confirmed that the Italian tank destroyers will be coming to World of Tanks console on May 23rd. So we've just got over a month to wait, or actually 6 weeks to actually wait until we get these Italian tank destroyers. The first being that Centauro CC 45T, the Contraccaro. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely good. I think it's going to be really nice. And they've also come out with some UI updates as well. So they've come out with a combined overview map, player list, and map as well. So they're now changing the actual map itself. And they're redesigning the store. Yay, less scrolling to find the bundle you want. Yay, at least their development time went into the best area of the game rather than some of the things the community have been wanting for years after they removed them since update 6.0. But at least we can now scroll in the store, or not scroll in the store, and you can see everything all at once. Thank you very, very much. I love how there's an exclamation mark over here, like everyone was really wanting that. Like it was so much effort to actually scroll through to buy something from Wargaming. Yeah, definitely. Definitely the thing that was really annoying me. You guys know how it is. Either way, I mean, the combined overview map, it would be good. It would be nice to finally actually get the World War II HUD, but of course that just seems like it's just never coming back. You guys know everyone's opinion on that, especially if you've been playing the game for any length of time. But we've also got the new player experience. So apparently, new players will initially have access to play 3 maps while in co-op mode. They will unlock additional maps as they play more battles. Once they play 10 or more battles, they will have full access to the map rotation. I don't know if I feel like this is maybe a good idea. But at the same time, like, is it going to bore people? Are they going to be bored by the 3 maps? I guess not after playing 10 games. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's a good feature. Anything to help the new player experience, because we all know what the Panzer V4 is like, and Wargaming is so dedicated to the new player experience that, of course, it's still in the game and still gets sold every time they do a big sale, or they're like, how can we sell this little low tier bundle up? Maybe we can put the Panzer V4 in there. That is completely fun for everyone else. And of course, if you watched the stream recently, you saw me YOLOing through the middle of the field in some of the maps that we have, YOLOing literally directly through the center of maps and still winning and coming out with an 84% win rate overall in like 70 battles in the Panzer V4, because, you know, balanced tank and everything like that. Either way, yeah, you guys know my opinion on that. That's probably the most broken tank in the game, but at least new players will be able to play 3 maps while in co-op mode. Yay. Definitely going to be useful. Anyway, the first 5 battles, what will they actually see? So tiers 3 to 4 co-op only. They'll get Mines, Airfield and Himmelsdorf. I mean, it's okay. Era 1, they'll be able to play Kalbang, Airfield and Siegfried Line. And then 6 to 10 battles, they'll slowly get Mines, Airfield, Himmelsdorf, Mountain Pass, Hidden Village and Ghost Town. And then on co-op Era 1, they'll get Kalbang, Airfield, Siegfried Line, Erlenberg, Westfield and Redshire. So yeah, I mean, it's decent. And then of course, when you reach level 11, you'll get the normal maps, which is also good. So they'll be able to play any map in the game. And if a new player is in your co-op match, you will be subject to their map pool restrictions and will be monitoring the impact of this change on the co-op matches. Community map. Based on all of your feedback, we have updated the community map to extend the gameplay areas, change up the north, spawn and more. You'll see this updated version in custom games from Tuesday, so you can actually jump in and play the community map, which is pretty decent. And the last map that we had was, of course, Vineyards. That was the community map that we last had in the game, and I actually think that that is a pretty good community map. So in my opinion, maybe this one will be good as well. There is also the contract for the Spyglass, which is a very, very good tank in my opinion. It's like an auto-loading low tier vehicle. It has a 3-shot autoloader from what I can remember, and it's actually very, very good. It's a tier 6 light tank, mercenary tank of course, and I highly recommend that everyone actually gets the Spyglass at some point, because it just is very, very good, and I just really enjoy it. But you know, maybe it isn't so good in the meta in current days, but it's there for everyone. And then of course Commander XP, you can get 1.5 times Commander XP for the first 5 battles you play each day, so this is good. There will also be leading the charge, so you get 1.25 times silver by placing in the top 5 XP earners on your team in a winning battle for 5 times per day, which is also good. And Tank Connoisseur, win a battle to get 1.5 times vehicle XP, and this is available once per tank per day. So this is also good as well. So it's essentially like an extra boost to your daily double. But there is also brand new camos, so you can get bright green and magenta, NATO 02 and NATO 00. So you can get those in the game. I don't know if Wargaming have given us some pictures on that, apparently not. But we'll get to see some bright green. I love bright green, as you've seen me use the bright pink on the Maus. So yeah, I mean, it'll be good to test out some of that on stream. So make sure you join me on Friday next week to be able to have a look at the stream and jump in with me. But other than that, there are some shout outs. You can pause the video right here to have a look, and as well, as it's been announced, T. Kane will be on stream this coming Tuesday as he shows off the Gladiator season with, of course, me and Ricky. So I'm looking forward to this as well. This should be really, really interesting. And of course, you'll see my unbiased opinion on stream in the Wargaming stream. But I don't know what it's going to be like, but yeah, it should be good. And of course, you can tune in at 4 p.m. UTC to actually join us there. So yeah, going to be good. Should be a good stream. And of course, both of the guys are really, really sound. So yeah, we'll jump in with that. And then disclaimer, these notes are translated to the best of my ability. As with the update preview notes, these notes are subject to change. So there could be changes to here. But essentially the only thing that we haven't actually looked at in terms of the updates, this is what the team list will look like. It looks much better in my opinion. I actually kind of really like this. I think it should be a nice change. So yeah, big thumbs up from me. I think this is kind of cool. But other than that, we have some questions, and these are always one of my favourite things to see on World of Tanks console streams. And the first one is, when will the Roundabout and Plaguebringer be available? Unfortunately, it's too early to announce any further contracts, but the Spyglass is up next. So that's okay. I mean, nothing too special there. Why are Japanese tanks not under development in Cold War? So tanks in Cold War take a lot longer to develop as it is unique to our game, but for World War II we can import a lot of assets from PC. So what they're saying here is essentially that all of the Cold War vehicles have to be made from scratch, as opposed to being able to be like, oh, they've got the CC45T from PC. Oh, well, we can just grab the kind of model and then tweak it or do certain things. I don't know the back end, but I'm assuming that that's essentially what they can do. Like, they just have to adjust it to be able to get the textures and stuff like that, and specific things to the console version. But yeah, with a brand new vehicle that they've never seen, I'm assuming it takes a lot longer to build the model up from scratch, as opposed to just grabbing the details. But that's kind of why they can't just make these Cold War vehicles as quickly as they could with some of the tanks that we have. Of course, if we were to get a unique World War II vehicles, then yes, this is the same case. It would take just as long, in my opinion, unless maybe they have certain kind of missiles or something like that, which might be harder to get as well. But other than that, will the T29, T30 and T34 engine sounds ever go back to how they used to be? They forwarded this to our audio director to investigate this, so we will see what we can do. So maybe this will be a thing that happens. So I don't know if it makes much of a difference, but maybe that will happen. And can you buff the pen on the MBT 70? So they do regular check vehicle performance, so I can pass this over to our vehicle designers to take a look. I mean, for me personally, the MBT 70, not particularly a great vehicle in Cold War. So yeah, maybe if they could just make it a little bit easier to pen things, it would probably be a lot better. But Tanks Reforged for Italian Heavies, again, we can take a look at this and see how these vehicles are performing. So maybe this will happen for the Rinoceronte line, if you know what I mean. I just don't think that tank is particularly very good. But yeah, maybe that'll be a good thing to see in the game. Can we get a voucher for a skin in season rewards? It's a good suggestion, and we may need to look into how we could support this. I think this would be really, really good even if it was like a case of like we had season skins, so every single season we get one skin that's featured with every season, that is kind of like the rank 100 reward where you can get it, and in seasons maybe you'd be able to pick a choice of like 2 skins, so you don't get all of them, and maybe we could have earn challenges throughout the season to then get the second skin, if that makes sense. So a guaranteed skin as part of the reward, so rank 100 reward gives you one skin or the choice of one of the 2 skins, and then at some point later on down the line there's an earn operation to get the second skin, the one that you don't have. That would be in terms of, for me, probably the best thing. I think it's good to always give people the option and have multiple different things, so even if you don't get both of them, you at least get the one that you wanted the most. I think that would be cool to see in the season pass, and even if they did it as a completely separate challenge as part of the season, I think that would be cool. Will the Fury tank ever come back? Yes, but we can't give any details when, because this is obviously a licensed vehicle. It was licensed for the film Fury, as I'm sure you guys know, but essentially it's a tier 6 Sherman, looks exactly like the Fury from the film. And of course, yeah, it'll be cool to get that back in the game, but there is a potential that it is coming back, but obviously under licensing stuff, they cannot actually give you any details regarding this until it happens and we see it in the game, or until their embargo or whatever it might be, or the legal stuff actually goes through and they're able to bring it back to the game. But can we get a Gorilla 15 concealment buff? It is a large TD, but we can check how it's performing and act accordingly. So I feel like this would make the Gorilla a little bit better, because currently I feel like the Gorilla is like a best of none. It doesn't really do a whole lot. I mean, it has brilliant accuracy, but the accuracy is just a lie. I mean, to be able to actually fully aim, it takes a long time, because, as soon as you move a little bit, the dispersion becomes disgusting, and obviously it has to move a lot since the gun arc is not very good on the tank. It's just not particularly a great tank destroyer, and I would much rather play something like a 268 version 5 or just basically anything else. But, it is what it is. So I think the concealment buff would be a benefit to the tank, and maybe become a bit more usable in the game, as opposed to just playing it because it looks cool or something like that, rather than it's actually okay to play. So yeah, I think that would be a good one. And will we ever see German lights in Cold War? Possibly, but no estimated time of arrival to announce. So yeah, I mean, they're just saying that it is possible. I mean, any tank that you could potentially want in the game, it's possible to actually get. You just have to kind of sit and wait for Wargaming to develop them. It takes time, and of course, when the development team of the console version is a lot smaller than the PC version, and the PC version don't even get that many tanks every year. I think that the console version do work pretty tirelessly to create vehicles. Unfortunately, a lot of them are premium, as you can expect. It makes them the money, so I'm not surprised. But yeah, I mean, definitely the production of tech tree tanks has kind of slowed down over the last couple of years, to make way for premium tanks, but it is what it is, and I guess we'll just have to wait for a while until we get some more. And of course, they've doubled up the kind of the game mode, so now they have to create tech tree vehicles for Cold War and also World War II, so it's a lot of work to maintain, which is why I would have much rather have seen them bring in a total tier, so tiers 1 to like 19, instead of having the system that we do have where they're split into 2, and maybe they should have just made a decision like, yeah, we're just going to introduce True Vision into the entire game. Me personally, I hate True Vision, but if they just took a stance on it, I feel like it would have been better in the long run, because yeah, it just feels a little bit kind of just disconnected, I feel like, between the two modes, but that's just my opinion. So I'm interested to see what you guys actually think about that. Would you have rather seen them just, say like, nope, we're not having True Vision at all, we're just going to have tiers 1 to 19, it's all going to be the same game, the tiers just lead on from the tanks that you would expect them to, so you would have things like I don't know, the British tanks like the Challenger leading off from the Chieftain, and the Centurion Action X and stuff like that. and then you get up through the tiers that way, or would you rather them do it how they've done it currently? I'd be interested to see. But yeah, in my opinion, that's the way that they should have probably done it, and that way it would have been a little bit easier for them to develop all of the tanks. So if they, for example, wanted to come out with a brand new tech tree line in Cold War, they could have added in some tech tree line tanks down further in the World War II area. But yeah, and that way, you're not having to produce 2 tanks for every single, for both game modes if they're kind of relevant to one and the other. Yeah, I mean, we've seen a lot of duplication. And other than that, what else do we have? We have the French line in Cold War this season, ? No, not in this season, but they are working on it. Will there be any new Merc tanks coming? Yes, they are working on some to come potentially this year. So some new Merc tanks. I'm not entirely sure that I'm hopeful that these are going to be balanced, but fingers crossed, they're not too bad. But yeah, please no more AVREs. Please, just please no more AVREs. So yeah, fingers crossed. And any new skins coming? Yes, 2 dates to announce soon. Looking forward to this indeed. And of course, there is the YouTube video for the Gladiator season, so we'll just bash that one on and see what it's all about. So yeah, I'd be interested to see. I've muted it just so that there aren't any kind of issues with it. But of course, the Gladiators, Italy, Rome, yeah, I think the season's going to be a good one. But of course, we can only really speculate since we can't play it right now. And fingers crossed it will be something interesting to see. So you can see here, this is the Caro that they're featuring in the background. So obviously, definitely not from the Roman times, but, it is there. They're kind of upgrading their setup with regards to releases and stuff, which I really like. I think it's good for them to try and get a bit more of a presence. You can see the Caro here, and of course looks like the it could be a good one, but I have no idea because on PC they're not particularly great. They're not that good in the game, so. Yeah, I just don't know whether they're going to be all too special. But of course the AMX-30 here. And we can see Contro. We also saw the Bellerophon over here. So I think they're all going to be interesting. Definitely looking forward to it. But, we've just got to see what everything is all about. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. We've covered everything else. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this. If you did, make sure to hit the like button and also subscribe if you haven't. And don't forget to check out the gameplay and tank reviews playlist for a ton of vehicles, including the Bellerophon that we've done in the past on screen right now. And I will see you hopefully in the next weekend on World of Tanks. And there you go. Goodbye.